Hi, I'm Pawnee. I'm coming to you from Mama's Chronicles, and I'm your hostess, and I'm the Mama's Chronicles navigator. So today we're going to look at two or three things. We like to go across the plateau and see a lot of different things. To begin with, we're going to start with Mama's methods and remedies. It's and that's just a great way to look across generations and different healing methods. Not just mine, but I do have a bunch, but lots of them from across the United States or across the world. Different moms and different mothers and their go-to remedies. Okay, that'll be great. And we always like to stick in some news, but we like a little good news. We don't we're right to here with the bad news. We say speak life. So, a little good news. That's our news clip. We're going to bring you some great, interesting things today. And then, last but not least, Mama's wisdom. So, mamas have wisdom, and Mama's wisdom is to speak life. Okay? Most mamas, particularly when they get a little age on them, they start speaking life. They don't speak death. So, we're going to go over that. And from that, let's get started. So we're going to take a quick break so we can go to the office.
One.
I'm Pawnee, and we're back at the office. The office is where we teach. So today we're going to be teaching you just a little bit about functionality. So the question I get asked, why can't I poop? Well, a lot of people are not pooping like they should be pooping, but hardly anybody understands what the functionality of the colon is. And I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nurse, I'm not a PA, I don't play NBA. I don't do any of those things, but what I can tell you is I'm a fantastic colon hydrotherapist that loves what she does. I've done over 17,000 colonics. That's not all in the world, but that's a couple. And I've seen lots and lots of poop, and I've had an opportunity to really focus on functionality of the colon. What I can tell you is, for many, many years, I built and programmed slot machines. So here's what I did. I did it when girls could only do that. And I did it really well. And the reason they let me do it was because that's how my mind works. I take a lot of data, I extract patterns, and then I start categorizing. It's just my functionality. It's how I do stuff. So when I tell you something, it's not because Jimmy and Joey said it or because Dr. John wrote a book on it. Not that they might not do those things and confirm what I see, but what I tell you is what I've seen with my eyes, and that's part of my data. And over thousands and thousands of experience, so I share with you what I've learned over the years. And of course, to be a hydrotherapist, it takes a lot of different, training and education, and you have to continually re-educate and redo. But I love what I do, so it doesn't matter. You're going to find a very interesting, but probably unfamiliar take on what I believe the functionality is here. I break it down to simple Simon. Doctors are awesome, but they're very difficult for some people to really get a hold of and understand. We're going to talk really simple, okay? This is the colon, the digestion. Here we go. We're going to come right down through the esophagus. Then we're going to go into the tummy. This is the duodenum and the small intestine. So this is our full digestion. Now when it leaves the digestion, it goes through an area called the ileum. And this little area is called the ileocecal. There's a little valve there. It's a one-way valve. So when poop comes through the small intestine and goes into the cecum, by the way, that's right here in the right hand groin. Just imagine putting your hand in a fist and dropping your little finger, and that's what it is. It's just like your fist with a little appendix hanging there, right there in that right groin. So that's the cecum and the appendix. Just remember that poop that looks like black toxic water. That's what it looks like. It's like just like black toxic water. So as it pours into the cecum, here's what it's doing. It's putting a little pressure on the wall. So as it puts pressure on the wall, You have a brain right here. This little kid responds. I call it a little kid because it's very, very smart. Okay, it's brilliant and it's powerful. It's located right here in the transverse at the solar plexus. It's always watching what's coming through and responding. And it's always talking. It goes through the vagus nerve, talks to the brain, mom, 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 all the time. Okay, so it's that one little kid that we have in the household that never shuts up. Okay, so it's always talking, but it's always watching. It's very brilliant. So as the stool comes in, remember it's like black toxic water. It puts a little pressure on that cecum. So here's what I call that resistance. So here's what it's doing. It's going resistance, what? Drink, push. What? Resistance, drink, push. Resistance, drink, push. So what is that doing? That's taking the liquid or whatever through the wall into the bloodstream and the nervous system, and it's sending and recycling all over the body. Okay, so it goes right through the wall, it's absorbed in the nervous system and the bloodstream, and it sends stuff wherever it's needed. But it's a real smart little kid. It's like, you're good, you're good, you're good, not you, not you, you're good, you're good. Very, very smart. In here, it literally separates the stuff, takes up the good stuff, and pushes along the bad. Okay, drink, push, drink, push, drink, push, just beyond the little kid. Remember, I'm calling this solar plexus the little kid because there's an actual brain there. It's not like, oh, Pon said it was kind of like, nope, it's a brain, just like this, only mini me. Here we go, drink, push, just beyond the little kid, starts getting solid, drink, push, very, very solid, drink, push. Mom, can I go poop? Yes, you may, solid stool. So if we just understand that in this part, here it comes, it's water, it's liquid. From this point, just in this colon, is where it goes from liquid to solid. Now, if it comes in and you haven't had enough water, let's just say that, if you haven't had enough water, it's already thick, it's already heavy. So when it goes drink, push, it's not liquid. Number one, we're not sending hydration and whatever to the rest of the body, but it's also much more difficult. And then, so remember, it's drink, push, so it comes in liquid. It's like sludge here. Now it starts becoming solid, but it's still sludgy, and it actually becomes really nice solid stools here. Well, if it starts out like sludge, well, it's already solid by the time it gets here, isn't it? So we got to have water. What makes the colon work? Resistance. Peristalsis? Peristalsis is awesome. We need peristalsis, but that's just a manner of doing business. That's not what makes it work. What makes it work is resistance. Like a balloon. A balloon is only a balloon because it has resistance. It takes the air. Same with your colon. And then what it does, as soon as we get resistance, drink, push. So two things, we need water and we need fiber. For what? Resistance. That's what creates resistance. Where do we get fiber? Well, the best way to get it's in some greens, but don't think that a good bran cereal is going to hurt you. It's not. Just get a good one. We want some resistance. Got to have water, got to have fiber, period. That's the first thing. Is that the only? No. I'm going to teach you some other stuff here. We're going to talk about some of these other things. This is, for the most part, a diseased colon. We're going to talk about some of these things and how they feel, how they respond, what you can look for, what some of the symptoms are of some of these things, and what age you might find some of these things show up. So it's a very interesting, and most of us can relate. I was just talking to my producer here about farts. Farts are important. We need to fart, but we need to pay attention to our farts. Our farts have a smell, woo, sometimes, and sometimes, hey, that wasn't bad, right? I mean, we've got different farts, but our farts tell a lot. And we're going to talk about that too. Just like your poop. I'm going to teach you how to read your poop so that you can see. The thing is, you're first responders. God gave us gifts, and two of those are eyeballs. Okay, so we're going to look, we're going to see what poop is, we're going to see what it should look like, what's healthy, and what some of your poop means when you see it changing. Okay, all right. Thanks a bunch. We're going to leave the office. We're going back to the studio. Well, I'm back. So I hope you appreciated that little teaching there. I love to teach, and I've got a lot of information I want to share with you in future on that. Okay? So now this is news time. We need to have a drum roll, please. There we go. Let's get a drum roll. Anything. All right. A bomb, something. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. We're going to get a little good news. Yeah, baby. That's what I'm talking about. All right, thank you. So, all right. Okay, that's good. That's good. Yeah, well, see, you can't hold a good crowd back. So here we go. A little good news today. This is what Mama does. Mama likes good news. I'm right to here with bad news. We got plenty of that. You come here for good news. So, and I'm going to have to read some of this, but no biggie. So the first one I call Lost and Found. This is a young woman's name is Ashley Garner. What she did was she lost her wedding ring outside of her Fort Myers home. And just days before that last big hurricane that Ian crashed into the coast of the southwest Florida. Actually, it was just a week or so ago. Despite getting her husband and 3 children to help her search around the yard and the garage a couple of days in a row, there was no sign of the ring. They could not find her wedding ring. I mean, we're talking bum, okay? But this is so great. The family stayed in their home during the storm. And then and that was quite a storm. I mean, it tore everything up. After the storm, the whole family went on, oh my gosh, they're like, whoa, look at this, it's so bad. And they're all walking around, there's bushes and crap everywhere. And they look and, oh my gosh, hanging on a bush was her ring. Isn't that great? That's just a good story. I mean, that's just awesome, okay? I would call that Lost and Found. So this one's called, What the Heck Are Bike Buses? And I said, what the heck are bike buses? So my sister drives a school bus, so it's kind of fun. I'm like, Sean, what is a bike bus? So I think this is in Michigan, but I could be a little bit wrong about that. But you look it up. You follow up on this. So here's what it is. They're adult-led group bike rides to school. Is that cool? And they're taking over the neighborhoods. Many families are ditching their cars for a sweeter morning ride with friends, biking miles in organized clusters led by grown-up volunteers, which I love. The effort it's called to combat climate change, encourage exercise, reduce the school drop-off problem. And the kids and the parents, everybody just is so happy. They feel good. I mean, the kids are happier when they get to school. They've had a little workout. In other words, yay, right? And so, the guy said that they start out with a safety measure review first, and then they start the ride. And he said, it's unbelievable. It's nothing but laughing and yelling and pure joy. And they started out with like 60 people, and they ended up with 150 people going to school. Is that awesome? Every town needs to get this on. I say go. I mean, if they're in a decent range. But we're talking about community, fun. That's good news. I'm sure you agree. Okay? So this one is called The Gift of Smell and Other Supernatural Gifts. When you hear me talk, when I teach about gifts. So God gave us gifts of eyes, that's to see, particularly to look at what? Extremities, poop, different things. And then here's another one. I smell that pee, you go drink some water. That's a gift. And then when oh honey, come and feel this, that's a gift. Those are all gifts. We are first responders, so those gifts are awesome, but we need to keep them sharpened and honed. When you work with me or you watch my teaching, what we're going to do is we're going to sharpen and hone some of your skills. That's what we do. We don't try to play doctor and nurse. I mean, God forbid everybody's trying to be a doctor and a nurse. We've got We've got good people doing that now, and they do a great job. What we don't want is to go there when we should have taken care of something ourselves. We're first responders, and we need to be on our game, right? Okay, good. Okay, so this is called the gift of smell. So this woman's name was Joy. She's a retired nurse from a Scottish town of Perth. So her husband was diagnosed with Parkinson's. So, and this woman, honestly, she had been for some time prior to the Parkinson's problem, before he had been diagnosed, she smelled her husband and really got like, oh my God, you smell terrible, Joey. Like he smelled very bad, rank. She said it was musty or something, and but it was just very, very bad. Well, and then sometime later, they figured out that he had Parkinson's. Well, she didn't put the two together until they went to a support group meeting one night, and everyone in the room smelled like that. So it was just like, oh my gosh, she just had a gift. She had the gift of smell. It was really sensitive, and it was so sensitive to the Parkinson's that she had a 95% rate on figuring out who had Parkinson's. That's really high. Like she can smell something, you got Parkinson's, you don't have it. That's awesome, right? And so what they did was, in fact, she was so accurate that with this 95% accuracy rate, that some scientists took her and said, so they test her and they ran her through. That's how they got her rate. They said, wow, she really can do this. And not just that, but here's what they did. It so encouraged them, and she was so good at articulating what she was smelling that this scientist decided to make a swab. So like, just imagine, these people are waiting 2-3 months to just be diagnosed by a specialist that they even have Parkinson's, maybe longer. So now they made a swab because of her awesome gift. They made a swab where they can swab the skin now, because that's what she was smelling, something on the skin. Now they can swab it, and they know maybe within 3 minutes, right? Is that awesome? That's a great story. How come everybody's not talking about it? Well, I love it, okay? I love it a lot. Thanks, too. Okay, so now we're going to talk about Mama's wisdom. Mama's wisdom is life speaking. It's speaking life. Okay, that's what Mama's wisdom is. Okay, so I need to tell you, Mama's Chronicles was inspired and in honor of, dedicated to, the life of Janet Prophet Polk. Okay, she's better known for being Bible Mama, because she was just like a little walking Bible. She was very cool. She was born in 1929. Just a neat woman. You know, here's the thing. I wrote these things down so I wouldn't miss them. She was an encourager, a wonderful vocalist, a lover of souls, a lover of the Lord, but very importantly, she was a great woman of wisdom. She drew her wisdom from her relationship with God, which I admire and adore. God downloaded wisdom to her, okay? She wasn't prideful or boastful. She was a dear friend to me. I thank the Lord for the wisdom that she shared with me, okay? So I'm going to tell you, she used to always say, beloved. So today I'm going to say, beloved. Call on your elders in times of trouble, okay? Not for their substance or their money or their stuff, or not for their stuff, but for their awesome wisdom, okay? If you can't find an elder willing to share their wisdom, just talk to God. James 1:5 says, if any of you lacks wisdom, ask God who gives generously. And he does. All you have to do is ask him. He just downloads it. Okay. Bible Mama had a great relationship with him, so he was continually downloading. So she was really smart, really full of wisdom. So Proverbs 13:20 says, walk with the wise and become wise, for the companion of fools suffers harm. And who doesn't know that, right? Well, try to hang with wise people. Your elders are wise, okay? Proverbs 8:11 says, for wisdom is better than rubies, and all the things one may desire cannot be compared to her. Wow. Awesome. Wisdom is awesome. And guess what? Elders are awesome. So much wisdom comes from opportunity of leisure. And so he that has little business shall become very wise. So the elder has opportunity to be very, very wise. Remember that, okay? Today, I'm asking you to speak life to an elder. Not death, not telling them they've got dementia or they're too old or they can't or shut up or you don't want to know because you're so smart. And that's easy to do. I find myself, me too. Okay. I'm just saying, the elders have tremendous wisdom. So here's the thing. Whether a cowboy, a miner, a waitress or designer, a baker, a teacher, or a Sunday school preacher, all are wise in their work. And without these, a city cannot be inhabited and shall not be. They do not sit in judges' seats, nor do they even understand the judgment. Okay? They shall not declare justice, nor sit on high council, but they shall maintain the state of the world. And their desire has been in the work of their craft. In other words, they're wise in their work, in their craft. Speak life to these people. Learn from them. For all their wisdom, and actually, elders have so much wisdom, it can't be contained. And for all they have, all the content makers, most of them are 17 to, I don't know, they're like 17 to 26 or something. That's most of the content creators. Elders have great wisdom, yet there's a tiny little sliver. It's very rare to find an elder with great wisdom that creates content, or that someone else will even come in and help them or encourage them or try to learn from them. Content creation for elders, awesome, great wisdom, okay? So I don't know if you know this, but only 2 out of 3 seniors even use the internet. Okay? So only 4 out of 10 have smartphones. It's not because they can't, but even if they don't want to mess with it, they have wisdom. It's not there. They have wisdom. They're great, deep depth. Your head gets full. Great wisdom. Okay? So today, speak life to a senior. Speak life today to a senior. They have great wisdom to share with you. Soak it up. Okay? I'm going to read a poem. I like to end with a poem. Okay? This is called For Me and You. My friend, she lay near Abram's breast. I'm sorry, let me start again. My friend, she lay near Abram's breast while wondering if she'll find some rest. Not subtle in her draw for breath, her fortitude denied her death. She stands her ground and holds her peace, no measure now of time nor space. She called for Papa in her plight. She did not blame, nor did she spite. She called for comfort and his hand, so she'd be strong in her last stand. Not depth nor length nor thing that's known can shake the love her God has shown. He brought her up and brought her through. I pray the same for me and you. Friend, I'm Mama, and these are my chronicles. I say good night, beloved, and thank you so very much. Subscribe, share, and good night.